Here's to good friends, the ones we hold dear, the ones who will tell us what we need to hear, the ones who love us, right or wrong, and to all those good friends that give you this song.
Well, hello good friends, and welcome back to The Last Walk, Remember When, with your host, Ron Baumbach. We're going back in time again to the fun times, and today's a tribute time. So get up, get off your easy chair, walk over to your stove, reach up and get that hot dog that's boiling in that hot water, put it in the bun, add some sauerkraut, add some relish, and some Frank's hot mustard. Reach into the fridge, way in the back, get that bottle of Yoo-Hoo, pour it into your tall glass, make sure it's good and smooth, go back to your lava lamp, turn it on, sit in your easy chair, close your eyes, get ready, The Last Walk is back!
Life is too short, we get only one turn. With luck we find beauty, but we sometimes get burned. But if you've had a true friend, or perhaps love, you've experienced the peace of heaven above.
We met 51 years ago as high school seniors at a Marist College welcoming session for next year's incoming freshmen at the Garden City Hotel in Long Island, New York. The guest speaker was Billy Graham, not the preacher, but Billy Graham the boxer. I chatted with this fella, we had a good time, and we went our separate ways. Months later, as my parents drove me to drop me off at my new home in Poughkeepsie, New York, Marist College, we see the same fellow in the road in front of us, right in front of the dormitories. He's directing traffic, helping people with their luggage, the flow back and forth to dormitories Leo Hall, Champagne Hall, and Sheehan Hall, helping them find their way. I looked at my parents and said, geez, I thought he was an incoming freshman like me, but he must be an upperclassman. He's out there helping them. I soon found out he was in a room next to mine. I was 604 Leo Hall. He was 606 Leo Hall. We chatted, and I learned he was indeed in my class, a fellow classmate. But he got there early that day, unpacked all his stuff in his room, went outside to help others, which is what he always did. We spent 4 years together as floor mates, often next door to each other. There were many bowl sessions, as we call them, that were held in numerous rooms, often my roommate in my room, night after night, late at night.
I'm gonna wait till midnight hour. After my love, somebody down. I'm gonna wait till midnight hour when there's nobody else around.
And every night, as we would get ready to finally call it an evening, the midnight hour, and turn it in, there will be our friend Bob. We called him Bull, going room to room with his robe on, his pipe in his hand lit, wishing everyone a good night, almost like he's tucking us all in. Night after night, you knew it would happen. Bob would make his visit, wishing you good luck on tomorrow's exam, the paper submission, whatever. You knew Bob would be there. Room to room, he would go, greeting everyone, wishing us all a good evening. It got so you knew you couldn't go to bed, you couldn't go to sleep, till the knock on the door came, and it was our friend Bob, with his quick, "Good night, guys. See you in the morning. Good luck on that test tomorrow, okay?"
Before you go to sleep, say a little prayer. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy.
4 years go by so quickly. A lot of memories of what happened back then. Remember our good friend Bob played football for Marist College. There was one infamous day where something happened to Bob's pants in the middle of the game. His pants started falling down, and Bob's trying to run around the field as he's a defensive linebacker trying to block those runners with his pants going down to his knees as he's making a tackle. It lived on for years, that story. One I'll never forget, the day the pants fell down.
I'm so happy now. Changed my life somehow. I'm so happy now.
Bob relished in that story. He was always happy. He was even happy when I took him out of a softball game. We had a floor team. Our team was called the softball team, ironically enough. Played in the Marist Intramural League, and I was picked to be the manager. And we had a bunch of us play. We did pretty good. One game, Bob got 2 home runs, and I abruptly took him out of the game. He complained, said, "What am I out of the game for?" I said, "You got 2 home runs. Give someone else a chance to get one." He gave me grief for about 5 years on that one. Finally, he relented when he realized that someone else needed a chance to be the star, because Bob always was.
I can't stay. Yes, I know. You know I hate to go, but goodbye. It's been sweet. I'm in love, incomplete. So I'll sigh just a little 'cause I love you so. And I'll die just a little 'cause I have to go.
It was senior year. Bob and I took a lot of class together in our majors. One of which was our speech class with Professor Schroeder, I believe his name was. We had to do a presentation about a meeting we were supposed to go to. And we had to plan this thing together. So Bob and I figured, what better thing to do than let's go to a Met game. The only thing was, it was 90 miles away in Shea Stadium, and we couldn't really tell our professor we wanted to go to a Met game. So basically we said we were invited to a meeting with a number of people in Queens, New York. There'll be many executives there, we said, from numerous companies with a wide variety of interest. We're planning to review our goals for the day with them and share some experiences together with these people. We went on and on and on as to the merits of our attending this meeting in April of 1971. Now, Professor Schroeder thought it was a good idea, an excellent idea, in fact. After all, we're about to graduate in a few weeks, and we needed to get our act together and get a job and get our careers in gear. What better place to do than go to Queens, go to New York City, and meet executives? He instructed us to report back to the class the following week with a speech about what transpired and the results of our meeting. When we got to the hallway after class, we high-fived each other, which was just starting to be a thing back then. And we were thrilled that we were going to skip class legally and go to a Met game. What better than this could this be? So, we drove down to Shea Stadium the next day of our class, got our tickets, and proceeded to go to the game. We had a few dogs and some brews, and cheered wildly as the Mets went on to win the game.
Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets! Let's go Mets!
Now on the way back, we discussed our presentation that we had to do the following week. When we got to Professor Schroeder's class, he asked us to address the entire class with our business meeting review. In essence, we said, together, It was a very large, diverse group of people, many of which were corporate high-level executives. There were refreshments served at the recession, and a great deal of spontaneous interaction, of which we participated in fully. It was a wonderful winning and learning experience, and at the end of the day, we were instructed by the people who ran the meeting to drive back safely and come back again soon. The great professor, not Casey Stengel, was really impressed.
Well, she got her daddy's car and she cruised through the hamburger stand now. Seems she forgot all about the library like she told her old man now. And with the radio blasting goes cruising just as fast as she can now. And she'll have fun, fun, fun till her daddy takes the T-bird away. Fun, fun, fun till her daddy takes the T-bird away. Well, the girls can't stand her 'cause she walks, looks and drives like an ace. You walk like an ace now, you walk like an ace. She makes the 8500 look like a Roman chariot race. Like an ace now, you look like an ace. A lot of guys try to catch her, but she leads them on a wild goose chase. Like an ace now, you drive like an ace. She'll have fun.
So we all then graduated, moved on to our lives, our careers. Bob went to Astoria Federal Savings Bank, I believe, and I went on to Emory Freight. And we had Fred and Ray, Bob, myself, and along came a friend named Ken to add enough fun and merriment. And what sealed the deal was a movie we all saw together. I think it was December of 71 or January of 72. A movie called The Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight, and a line that kept on being repeated over and over again.
Bacala.
Bacala. The group became our name. We would go out together, we would be called the Bacala. In the summers of 71 and 72, my parents had purchased a summer cabin out in Wading River. They rarely, if ever, went. That was their dream to go there, but they never did. So, myself and my friends Bob, Ray, Fred, and Ken, we took it upon ourselves to partake in the weekend pleasure on a steady diet of bacon, steak, and adult beverage. We had a blast.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, round, I get around, I get around, get around, round, round, 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 I get around.
We agreed to make a bowling team together. We called ourselves the Tuesday Night Freaks, bowling on Tuesday. Then we became the Puccio's Pizza bowling team, and Puccio even gave us shirts. We actually had a sponsor. And on Thursday evenings, we gathered at the Skipper in Rockville Center, trying to plan our weekend, which we normally meant on Friday. We gathered at my house, 4 or 6 of us, to plan our evening's adventure, until we finally met the girls of our dreams. Bob met Maura, Ken married Fran, and I met my Chris.
Only in America can a guy from anywhere go to sleep a pauper and wake up a millionaire. Only in America can a kid without a cent get a break and maybe grow up to be president. Only in America, land of opportunity, yeah. Would a classy girl like you fall for a poor boy like me?
So as we matured, quote unquote, married and moved on, we found ourselves in different parts of the Northeast. But we gathered together once a year to celebrate Bacala, usually in Manhattan, as it was central for all of us. It was fun, and it gave us new stories to relish and talk about, one of which involved our friend Bob. On the very first Bacala get-together, the reunion, Bob had lived in Jersey, took the train to New York, took the train back to New Jersey. But on the way back, Bob fell asleep, missed his stop, ended up on the last stop of the train. He woke up, couldn't find a cab, briefcase in hand, suit and tie on. Bob started walking on the road. It was about 2 a.m. A cop